Hey everybody, Royce from Hill Country CNC and Woodworking, and we're going to make this little sign. It's a V-Carve using the Cadence Manufacturing Jenny 60 GrooVee Bit, which is brand new to me. Thought it was pretty cool. So everything's fired up. I'm putting in my specifications for my material, and you'll notice that it's a really long board. It's basically a 2x6. I was requested to make this carving for the back of a bench. So that's the weird dimension. You also notice that it's vertical, and that is because it was 53 inches long and my machine only does 48. So I have it as a pass through. So I'm going to go over here to File and Import, and I'm going to import a vector. This was sent to me directly from the client, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So there's the vector. It's an SVG. And I was thinking about just rotating it with the little wheel, but I was like, that doesn't give you an exact. So the better option is to go over to your left-hand side and go to rotate. We'll select it. See, I could turn there. We're not going to do that. We're going to go over here and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Boom. All right, now you have it at a perfect 90. And I hope you understand why I did that, because if you're using that rotation tool, you might get 91, you might get 87. So now I'm just centering it. And when I did my setup, the center of the board is the center of my cut. So now that is perfectly centered. I don't have to worry about anything. All I have to do is get my board straight when I go to CNC it. And that was the easy route because I had an SVG given to me. But here we are. We're just going to go to Google and we're going to go to a site called DaFont. And DaFont's going to give you all these downloadable fonts. And you got the little cookie monster down there. We're going to go over here and we're going to start looking at what we can do. They always have suggestions. You can look up the top of that box that gives you a bunch of different ideas. And wasting time here. I was looking for Bada Boom, which is the one that I use on all my thumbnails and everything. Some of these are copywritten and you won't find them here. So that was just an example of me looking for Bada Boom and obviously not finding it. But if you're really interested in that font that we just saw, it's called Lobster. It's actually Lobster 2. This one is Lobster 1.4. So this is extremely close to the version that you saw on the font. And we just go over here and we download it. That Yakura lobster is awesome. I want to use that on something. Lobster 2, you can see that it's not there. And you ask, how do you know stuff like this? It goes to the point that I've been to graphic design school. And you're not going to know stuff like that unless you're just in the business or you've been to school for it. So I downloaded it. That little clip that you couldn't see was just said download, and I downloaded it. And we're over on my desktop. I open up my little file, and you can see it's Lobster 1.4. And these are unusable in this format. So you're going to extract, and it's going to give you an option of where to put it. I already made a file. And there is your open type Lobster 1.4, and you just click install. Now on older versions of VCarve, when you installed a font, you would have to go back and shut the program down and reopen it. But it seems the newest update, it's automatic. I was prepared to do that, but it automatically did it for me, so obviously something changed there. So you just scroll down and find your lobster, click on that, and then your, whatever you type in the text is going to pop up just perfect. And this project really is just that easy. We're already moving on to building our toolpaths. So we're going to go over here to Toolpaths, click that pin, always click the pin. It gets so annoying. We're going to highlight what we're going to V-Carve. We're going to go over to V-Carve. It's this simple. I already chose a flat depth of 0.3. You ask, how did you choose that? It's just kind of experience. I know the 0.2, 0.3 area is usually good for V-Carves. I uploaded the 3/8 GrooVee Bit from Cadence Manufacturing. And then you can see under clearance tools, I added my Amana 46 200K to clear out the excess. It speeds up the V-Carve a little bit. Something I wanted to mention with this bit, the reason I'm using it is because it's a down carve V-Carve bit, which is rare. You don't see it that often, and I thought it was really interesting and something I wanted to try. So cut direction climb, it's really a little inconsequential, no ramp, and you should be good to go. Give it a good name. I always name things what it is, what type of cut, the depth that I'm cutting, and usually the bit. And that way when I see it on my screen, I can identify properly what it is. So you can see here, a little slow, 0.3 depth. We're going to calculate, and that's our cutting toolpath. I like to give it a little angle, especially on V-Carves, so you can kind of see what's going on. So we'll have our clearing path, and you'll see it's not much to see. You can kind of tell what's going on, but it's just hogging out that extra material. You could do this without the clearing pass. And then we go in with our V-Carve. Give it a few minutes and boom, it's beautiful. Absolutely love this project. So as I was making this, I decided I wanted to go back in and kind of show you the bits a little bit. Normally I do that while I'm making the file. For whatever reason, I didn't do it this time. And you can see everything set up there, show you the 1/8 inch down cut bit. And that's it. So now we'll go over and I'm going to show you this little button here, and it will tell you how long it's going to take. So the clearance is 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is nothing. And then the V-Carve was 13:51. Again, this is not a super in-depth project, so that time frame looked good. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm not using an ATC, so I need to do visible toolpaths to multiple files. We're not going to group because we have to do a bit change. And then, of course, we have the machine and post-processor already in there. Save toolpaths. So we're just going to go over here and click Save Now. And, you find your location that you want and give it a general name. I always try to keep the file name short because the program is going to add stuff to it. So I have my file. Okay, on to the fun stuff. We are prepping the board. I had to do a little bit of sanding. The client sanded for me, but I went ahead and took it down to 220 just to get a nice finish. And then you'll see that board there. I used that, I lined it up perfectly because I knew that when I was going to do my CA glue that your time is short. So I added that. I found the center of the board. You remember at the very beginning when we set up our material, we did the center point as our start point. And I just use my controller on the Masso to set it up. That's my 1/8 inch bit. It's not actually a 46200K. I can't remember what it is. And there's the center, and I'm going to go over here to my X and my Y, and I'm going to say 0. And then we need to find our Z. So we'll do the probe. And of course there's a little magic here because I didn't film both at the same time. But that's me putting my Z probe on. So I almost started it, but then I remembered I needed Oramask. Use the Oramask 813. Don't use the Amazon cheap stuff. It won't work as well, I promise. Especially if you're doing color on top of color. And I just set everything up. And here we go. We're doing our clearance. You'll notice that things are going pretty fast. I'm a bit like Dr. Strange. I have the ability to change time, and it is. So I've sped that up not only in the machine, but also in the video, so that is not an accurate depiction. This is our clearance. You can see we have a little bit of fray on the Oramask. That's okay, but kind of shows my bits maybe a little dull. And then we are going over. What you don't see here is that I had to re-zero the Z for the new bit. I didn't film that for some reason. And we start. And again, I'm going to show you a little bit of this and then speed it up. I know there's a lot of people that love ASMR, but I don't think CNC ASMR is very nice at all. So we can just reduce the sound of this sucker and fly through it. While I got you here, I wanted to mention the Cadence Manufacturing 60-degree GrooVee Bit. I am not sponsored as of me making this video with them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was extremely impressed. I am switching to this bit for V-Carve. I am just totally blown away by how sharp the end product is. You can see it here, super smooth. I'm going maybe a little too fast, so you can see some of that little tear out there. Not tear out, but material left. It's super smooth, looks wonderful. I almost always on V-Carve run my file twice, and that cleans up all those little tiny things so you don't have to do any sanding at all. Looks amazing. And then this is, you can see it's masked off, and that's the back of my pickup truck if you're wondering. And I spray painted it, but I didn't video it when I was doing that for some reason. I usually do every step, but I just forgot on that one. And this is the final. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll bring more to you. I think the next one is how to make a field of stars for an American flag, not buying a file. I'm going to teach you how to make the file for V-Carve so you don't have to spend money on a file for an American flag. Have a good one.